Good evening, Kenny, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Happy Monday, happy December to you, sir.
Listen, man. The time is going by already. December. It just felt like summertime. It felt like Halloween last week. But yeah, man. December 2nd, we're doing this podcast live. So yeah, man. Time is going, man. By the time I know, it'll be 2025, bro.
2025. Guess what? It's cold outside, but the heat is still picking up.
That's right.
Feel me? Because we tonight we got some heat, more heat developing, baby.
That's right. And also in 2025, we get John Cena back for his world tour.
Oh,
Again, if you're watching the podcast too, Out of Three Falls podcast here live on a Monday night, December 2nd, 2024, following Monday Night Raw. My co-host tonight, Kenny Holt. Follow him on social media, Twitter at Cowabunga_K_E_N. Find myself Rainy J Cruz, RENDY, letter JCRUZ on all social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, X, whatever you want to call it, Instagram. Find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. And again, if you're watching us live, we're live on YouTube as well, youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. We're coming off Survivor Series this past Saturday. We had Raw tonight.
mhm.
Things are already in motion, man. We're going to be in the Royal Rumble season. We're going to be in the WrestleMania season. We got Saturday night's main event coming up in a couple of weeks. Again, if you're watching, if you got any questions, comments, hit us up on Twitter or on YouTube. We'd love to hear from you guys as we go along. And again, subscribe. So, Kenny, a lot of shit happened on Raw today.
Yes,
Um,
good.
but where do you want to start? What's the angle you want to tackle first? Because, like I said, a lot of things happen that we can go on a half hour about. But what do you feel? What's most important to you from tonight from Raw?
I think one that really hit us, that the one we've been talking about for the last few weeks, more so the last few months,
Hmm.
and it came on tonight because it was a mark of a history, the New Day's 10-year anniversary. We were seeing the spiraling between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and tonight we that all unraveled tonight. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods weren't getting along, and that all led up to what happened last week of them going blow for blow,
Hmm.
explaining each other's difficulties, unveiling the insecurities between or what each of them may have. So tonight they come out for the New Day celebration. Everything's decked out. We see the big box of bootios. We see the infamous trombone. We see
Yep.
the corn hat. We see pancakes. We see everything that memorabilia that reminds us about the New Day.
Mhm.
They're going down this path. They're reminiscent. Adam Pearce is making them recollect seeing the tag team titles. I mean, 12-time tag team champions amongst the three. That's impressive. Within those 10 years, that is very much impressive.
And you know what? I know everybody in the world has been talking about this New Day breakup to see how it would play out. Would Kofi be the bad guy? Would Woods be the bad guy? Would Big E be the manager for one of those guys? Would Big E come back to wrestle? Um, and I think what happened tonight is something that many did not expect. When I saw you at the party on Saturday, I did say
Mhm.
something like Big E would come back, but then he would manage a heel New Day.
Right. You say that.
But I
Mhm.
had everything right, except there's no Big E involved. They said, listen, you got a broken neck. Kofi said, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It would say you
Oh,
want to come back now. Like, yeah, you've been hurt, but we've been doing this left and right. Now you want to come back and want to manage us now, bro? Like, no,
mhm.
we ain't having that shit, bro. You took too long. So I think the way it was laid out, like it took people for a ride. It was shocking. Like, oh shit, they really turned on E. Because now the inclination is, does that give a little window that means Big E will come back and wrestle? Like, if he does, maybe do they clear him for one final match? Let's just say. And that one final match is either against Woods or Kofi or both. We
Anything
don't know.
else?
So now it's like, okay, you don't break up the New Day. They now that they go back to being a heel ways that they were 10 years ago, just without Big E. We'll see what happens. And I think the big thing that I noticed was the fact that they went on at the midway point, like around 9 o'clock.
Right.
If they were going to do a swerve or someone was going to turn, that would that would have been the final segment of the show.
Yeah, that's
Not
what a lot
not
of us
Seth
thought.
and Sami Zayn.
Right.
So that was a little giveaway. Like, okay, why they going on now? Is something going to happen? Are they gonna be kumbaya and be together? Like, listen, man, the family fights sometimes. We'll be good. We locked in, and then Biggie comes in and save the day. But I think what they did was good because I think nobody really saw what was happening, and now it raises more questions. Like, damn, like, all right, so what's this new day gonna be like with a heel kind of attitude, and where does it this leave Big E come down the road?
I think so. I think everything's spot on because we already made this compare. We were already talking about between Kofi and Xavier Woods. They're not working out. We've been seeing the New Day for the last few years. You know, three of them. Unfortunately, Big E has his neck injury, so it was just two at the moment. You know, we see them get their titles, get their run, but at one end, as you stated before, I think 3 shows back or so,
Mm,
that it's about time for them to break up. It's time for them to, go their separate ways. But how they would do it on the 10-year anniversary, we all led up to
right.
talk about it. So we saw the turn that that they talked about starting off saying we're having difficulties, we're having troubles, but then everything that we wanted to see, we was like, is Big E going to be there for the 10-year reunion? He comes out, unfortunately, he
Mhm.
comes out, and everyone is rejoicing, having those memories again. Big E trying to come in, be the problem saver, be the big brother that he is, and he wants to come and say, you know what, I'm going to try to make this work, even though I can't wrestle. But
Mhm.
guess what? We're still going to be the New Day, even if I cannot physically compete.
Right.
You want to be the managers, but then we see the swerve.
Mhm.
Woods. We probably all suspected Woods was probably going to, turn on E and saying, "Why were you here?" But the big shock came in where Kofi came and sided with Woods instead of defending with Big E,
Yeah.
and they were just, you talk about all the jokes from the within the business. Stone Cold Steve Austin got ran over. Well, he got his neck broken by Owen Hart. He
I mean,
came.
listen, those are facts.
It is. He
All
got ran
facts.
over by a car at Survivor Series. He came back. Of course, one big one. Kurt Angle broke his freaking neck in the '96 Olympics, won a
Mhm.
medal, and he
Facts.
still did it. So they pay homage to all those that came. Edge, Kurt Angle, Stone Cold, everyone they paid homage to. But
I mean, listen, Edge came back what? 10 years
mm,
later, 9 years,
but I
but he came
think
back.
I think the one thing that they really did show, like they really we as the fans, we still didn't like, we wanted it, but we did not want to see the demise of the New Day, let alone doing
Yeah.
the demise of the New Day for someone we thought that was going to positively trying to change the route. Like Big E, everyone has a turning point for him because we saw that he gave his all. He won. He was the world heavyweight champion along with the tag team champions. We saw the unfortunate incident where he broke his neck. We were all praying for him, that hope he didn't have full
Mhm.
paralysis, and not be able to be mobile and move, and just leaving us with a slightest a bit of hope that one day he'll be able to come back. And
Yeah.
tonight, the Kofi and Woods, they tugged on that, and you know what they did? They tugged on all New Day's heartstrings, and they
Yep.
tugged on it. And with that, they crushed Emmanuel. They crushed E by making all of us feel sorry for E. I'm like, man, E can't really defend himself. He's really doing a lot from being in the ring right now. And with that, I think they really broke up the New Day by breaking
Mhm.
E's heart, Big E's heart, and that really crushed it. And we saw that in the end. They were saying, you know what, E, we can do this
Mhm.
without you. You did everything. You have all these moves. You have
Yeah.
a wife. You have a desk job. You have all of this. And guess what? We don't need you. If we need you, we will let you know. But that's not going to happen. Guess what? The New Day is over because guess what? We don't need you because you wasn't there for us. Unfortunately, he had a broken neck, but I like how they're doing this turn here. We saw the last lying image where E left the ring, complete distraught, can't
Mm-hmm.
believe that this is over. Kofi, Woods face each other. We think they're probably going to go their separate ways.
Yeah,
One last hoorah, but no. Woods says to Kofi, "Me and you, we all we got. Let's do this."
that's right.
Join hands, but then as they join hands, we see Big E. It's like a tear go down his eye. He just can't believe it. I think that was the biggest turn of all, the heel turn between Kofi and Woods by breaking Big E's heart, the one that really wanted to keep the group together, breaking
Yeah.
E's heart and breaking those fans' heart, and just feeling sorry for him as well.
Okay, so from a wrestling standpoint, just forget the story right now.
Correct.
Wrestling standpoint, as a fan, are you more like, okay, New Day is still intact, but they're healed now. I really wanted them to go their separate ways. I wanted Kofi to be his separate ways. I wanted Xavier to go on his separate ways. But now we're gonna get the New Day again, still just minus Big E, still a tag team. So what does that mean? Do they go for the tag titles again? But now they're a heel tag team. Like from the wrestling standpoint, are you satisfied? Are you underwhelmed? Or are you cool with the fact that now they remain a tag team, but now the third piece, which is Big E, is like they totally shitted on him, but still they're a tag team. They're not split up officially.
I would say I'm more intrigued. I was surprised, very much intrigued. I'm interested to see how the New Day Kofi was are doing with this new heel turn. Because as you said it before, they were heels prior, but they were much more
Yeah.
more goofy heels before. But this time is much more serious. I think they're going for a more menacing, maniacal type of way they're going to do. Let's see if they maybe get into some heat with some tag team, maybe leading up to some possible defense
Mhm.
of being a tag team champion. But the New Day, it might be a new turn. Like the New Day is not like before. It's not all colorful. It's not all bubbly. It's not all positivity. I believe this New Day is going to be more dark, more gruesome, probably more vicious. I might think they might even change their name. They might call themselves the Treacherous Twins or something. They might call themselves the Treacherous Twins because
Mhm.
maybe they trying to break off from being a New Day. They might try to go into a new route.
Like be on their own.
They might be on their own. They're going to stay
Mm.
together, but I think they might go to a new rebrand and change their name. So I think this new route for them, they're going to, and wrestling wise, they're probably going to be very heelish, a lot maniacal, probably playing by their own rules, forgetting what the crowd is, and it's really going to be a lot. I think they're going to be a very much mid card menacing duo.
And again, I think when it's all said and done, I think this leaves the door open for Biggie to come back somehow, some way. Could he be medically cleared? Yeah, like, we saw with Stone
Now,
Cold, Kurt
yeah,
Angle, Edge. Um, so would you do Biggie against one of them 1-on-1, or do you think the crescendo is, if it's possible, to get like a triple threat with Kofi, Xavier, and Big E, and then that could be the final match in his career, unless he just has a one off, or because if he comes back saying I'm good and I can go longer, then that's a different story. But if he said, "Listen, I want the final cap to my career. If I can have one more match, I want to be in the ring with Kofi and Woods, and it's got to be at WrestleMania in a fucking triple threat match."
I'd say it can be either a triple threat match. I say it could either be like a tag team match, maybe a handicap match. It could be a handicap match, or if Big E finds himself another partner, if he ends up getting
Mhm.
another partner to team up with him to face off against Woods and Kofi, leading up into whatever pay per view whenever Big E is cleared, because
Mhm.
this is going to build up. I feel like Woods and Kofi are probably going to wreck up some shop. It's going to take some time, maybe not WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Depending on how we saw E come back into the ring, maybe we'll get a push for maybe a SummerSlam, or maybe sometime within the following year, maybe in September to December.
Mm.
That's what we might see.
But if you were a betting man, you would bet on what you saw right now. Biggie is like more than what's the percentage you feel Biggie will get back in the ring?
I would say possibly like 60, a good 60%, maybe
Okay.
60%. It was a big leap. Like a lot of fans, we thought we was hoping E is there, but we didn't know what. And a lot of us that probably saw Big E in the ring, we thought possibly as Woods and Kofi were attacking him on the mic,
Yeah.
we thought some of us thinking that, oh, he doesn't want to leave. So guess what?
Hmm.
If Woods and Kofi really goes on his round, do they attack E, knowing that he's injured? Now that
Yeah.
would really build some more to them as well. Like, oh, these guys mean serious. These guys mean business, and they really doing it. So that would have really hit a turn. Like they both of them would have attacked E. That would have been really something.
Does this? I know it's brand new. Like it happened like literally like an hour ago. But it's like like a normal hip hop album. They come out midnight. An hour later, yo, it's a fucking classic. Do you feel that this different unorthodox heel turn that the New Day pulled off against Big E is up there when it comes to it ain't barbershop Sean and Janetti. It's not like Hogan and NWO. Um, but or Seth against the Shield.
Field or Randy getting turned by Evolution. Yeah,
True. So like, where do you put this?
I
Is it
would
too early to tell?
I would say it's maybe a little too early to tell based on the results because we
Because
don't.
social media is saying, "Hey, this is one of the greatest heel turns." This is how we get down. Like it's like
Yeah,
it's
I would say we're waiting for the results, but if we were just looking right now, it's a pretty good heel turn because this wasn't, this wasn't done really with like physical, people wasn't attacked, they was just attacked verbally. So
Mhm.
this heel turn was attacked verbally, jabs taken out of nowhere, and
Yeah,
he had no way to almost defend himself or trying to like change their minds, but Kofi
yeah,
and Woods' minds were made up. So this heel turn, if anything, we didn't see like no gruesome punches, no moves, no chairs. This
yeah.
really got to you like right here, like
Mhm.
man, damn,
Like a
ooh,
very emotional heel turn.
emotional heel turn that gets you
Yeah.
right in the heartstrings. So this heel turn, I would put it out right now. I will put it in like maybe not top five, but probably in the maybe the 10, maybe 15. Like so far, this is a really good heel turn, especially how much the New Day we
Mhm.
saw, how much positivity, and then we just hear
Yeah.
all this verbal attacking and almost this negative display. I mean, the colors already there. We should have seen it. Leaving the blue, the pink. Now they're donning gray, black,
Yeah.
very moody, gruesome. So
Mhm.
we should have probably already seen it already.
So, like, were you emotional? Were you like crying? Were you sad?
Ah, no, no. I just had I had to clear
Like
my
Ric
ears.
Flair, a
I,
tear in my
I
eye?
just, I was just like, I wasn't crying. I was just more like, damn. And after more,
Okay.
damn. And after more,
Mm,
dang, E. But
that's
when
crazy.
E had to go up the ramp and see Kofi and Woods, join hands for this new and everything that he tried to do, wanted to manage them, didn't work. And
Mhm.
they shot that camera shot with Big E. He was crying or he had like sweat, but you saw the devastation in his face. So that was just like, damn, man. Like that was really the last chance we thought like, the New Day was going to rock.
Yeah.
Even though we knew that or we wanted a change was going to happen, but seeing Big E come back, like he took the strength to come back, knowing his condition, and he wanted to help out his
Mhm.
friends, but they just legit spat in his face and
Yeah.
crushed they crushed him while crushing all those that supported him. That's how a good heel does it. They just really say, F the fans, F this, we're gonna do it this way. And this is how we're gonna do it. So
Yeah.
this is one thing intrigued to see how this new day is going to be, or the treacherous twins, as I
Yeah. Again, we are doing this live following the Monday Night Raw, Monday, December 2nd. I've seen over 95 of you have popped in.
hmm
Again, any questions, comments regarding Raw, Survivor Series, hit us up in the chat, YouTube, or on X, Twitter. My last question regarding New Day before I move on. Do you feel
hmm
this was like an audible? Do you feel like there was a plan to turn the Kofi or turn Woods on each other, and there's no Biggie involvement? Or do you feel like they called an audible last minute to say, you know what, we're gonna keep you guys together, but we'll get Biggie involved, then you turn on him? Or do you feel like this was always the plan?
I feel like it could have been an audible. We would have been interested to see, who would have been the face, who would have been the heel
Hmm.
regarding it. I mean, a lot of us were leaning towards knowing that it was going to be Woods versus Kofi. We thought Kofi was going to be the heel. I mean, the face versus when Xavier Woods was going to be the heel. And this,
Yeah.
we were interested to see that if they were going to have matchups, one on ones, what type of matches they were going to go up against, and what type of how was this going to all generate you know regarding how is it going to within matchups, face ups, and how are they going to keep this going? What's going to generate with it? With them fighting, was Big E going to come back and try to stop them from fighting? Possibly making he was probably going to be a guest referee in the match in one of their matches, to
Okay.
this to conclude this. But then we would have also seen maybe he would have took a heel turn, joining Woods or possibly joining with Kofi. But if not, if so, I think an outside help would have also came in assist. I think this New Day, I think it would have really came with more between
Hmm.
Woods and Kofi, but I think last minute they decided to change it up because they wanted to include Big E in the New Day because despite him injured, you can't have the New Day without the big three, and that's E, Woods, or Kofi. So I
Yeah.
think they did a change. It was a pretty good change. They're going to keep them together, but this time they're going to just make them more of a menacing heel instead of, goofy heels. And, by just crushing Big E and just telling him, guess what? If you come back, we're going to make sure you're permanently can't come back. So that heart or physically.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna leave Punk for last. So everything in between, we had a Drew McIntyre return.
Ooh,
We got Jay Uso
that is
getting
horrible.
attacked. So we're assuming that's Drew McIntyre.
I would think so. It has a lot of history there because as prior to Bad Blood or so, Drew has had his beef with the bloodline with Roman.
Yes.
And with that, he's also had hate for so with Jay Uso
Hmm.
siding himself, working with Roman, the bloodline. Drew has had history with, the Usos, Sammy, the Wise Men, everyone solo. But now, so I think this is all going to generate now with after Survivor Series. Drew, he had his beef 3 month, 4 month beef with CM Punk, and now this is going to go into how can you work with someone like Jay Uso, not knowing what is he doing. So everything this is going to catch up to. It's like what Kevin Owens is doing on SmackDown, going after all loose ends that are connected with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It's like the multiverse of wrestling. It all comes. Here comes Drew McIntyre wanting to seek revenge on those who probably wronged him.
Yeah. Listen, every story links back to the bloodline. Somehow Roman, the Usos, Sami Zayn, and then you see Drew attack Sami Zayn at the end, and Sammy was having his beef with Seth Rollins, and it's all intertwined with the bloodline and Mr. Roman Reigns. And um I mean, to see Drew come back, I'm wondering like what is next for Drew. He got off the crazy trio trilogy with CM Punk, which is fantastic. And
hmm
it's like, all right, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn. Like if Jey Uso was still Intercontinental Champion, all right, I could see something like that. You attack Sami Zayn, okay, cool. But what else is there for Drew to do? Maybe I'm not seeing it right now. Um, because he's already had beef with Sammy. He's already had beef with the
Exactly.
Uso. So it's like, damn, like man, that was like a year ago. Yeah, are you still on that timeline? What about something else? What about Gunther? Like for the world title? Like we don't, or Damian Priest, but he goes after Sami Zayn. Drew is back. That's most important. But now the targets are more like why those two and not nobody else.
I feel as though these are all like connecting. So this is like payback. Like, all pressing matters and it's all coming back. They're seeing it, they're upset about it, they don't understand. I'm talking about Drew McIntyre, but also Kevin Owens. I feel like they both gonna make a play on it with, tying up all loose ends that are connected within the bloodline chain.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a theory. So what if, you
Oh,
know, those who have been wronged by the bloodline are starting to clean up and hit all loose ends that are connected. That means
right.
all those who worked with the bloodline. We're
Mm-hmm.
seeing Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. They're about to face each other next week at Saturday Night Main Event
That's
for
right.
the WWE Championship.
That's right.
We've been saying possibly, what if Kevin Owens he ends up winning it?
Mm-hmm.
And now here comes Drew McIntyre, who's also had beef with the bloodline. Kevin Owens has said before he did not like Cody joining the bloodline. He did not
Yeah.
like him pairing up with Roman Reigns, especially after everything that they have done. Drew McIntyre has made these statements before. Why are you joining with the bloodline? He's
Yep.
had this with Jey Uso prior, within last year. This will continue on. What if Drew, Cody, other oppressing forces that have been wronged by the bloodline, we see them start cutting loose ends, or just trying to get rid of all those that have
Mm-hmm.
been wronged to the bloodline? What if Drew is assisting? He may assist Kevin Owens, because Cody's connected to the bloodline now too. He's been
Right.
doing with this for 2 years or so, and he's also assisted with them. Drew starts, appearing. Kevin may start appearing. They may partner up.
Mm-hmm.
Drew may help. This is a theory. Help Kevin
Okay.
win the WWE Championship at Saturday Night main event. Now we probably might see Cody versus Drew. We haven't really seen that much more as like heat as much. And so with that, Jay,
Mm-hmm.
will all come back to it. Probably Jay, Sammy, Cody, it all intertwines and all comes back with Roman. The next thing you know, we might have something leading up to
Yeah.
Mania, maybe SummerSlam. We can't forget about Bloodline 2.0. We may not, yeah, the battle is over, but I guess maybe I feel like even after War Games, this is going to still possibly venture on. We might
Yeah.
see more. So I think all those have been wronged by the bloodline. Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens are coming out of hiding and is really coming out to tie loose ends, because Jay was attacked and
Yep.
now Sammy was attacked. And as much as it is now CM Punk, he just did a favor. But here's the thing: he just did a favor for someone, but he stated he has about a few favors left. So we don't know what else is going to happen with that. Everything is probably on its high end.
Yeah.
That's all going to venture out further in the next few months. This is still building up in this multiverse of wrestling, man.
And I mean, since you brought it up, again, if you're watching live on YouTube, Twitter, thank you. We appreciate you.
Yes, yes.
Download, rate, comment, subscribe. YouTube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. If you're watching, any questions, comments regarding Raw or Survivor Series, hit us up in the chat. CM Punk. So now CM
CM
Punk,
Punk.
Seth Rollins. I mean, it's a lot to tackle, but we'll go there. He does. So Survivor Series, War Games, they win the match, and he tells Paul Heyman, when I need a favor, I'm gonna get that favor
Right.
in some words like that. Then everybody like, oh shit, what's that favor? And it's kind of difficult to say what that favor is, because like if Roman was still champion, then it's like, all right, the favor is I want a title shot. The favor can be, you know, make me win the Rumble, once I'm in it. So it's it's kind of tricky to see what that favorite could be or what the options are aside from a main event spot at WrestleMania. Maybe it could be. It may not even be against Roman. Who
Might
knows?
be against someone. He just wants
My
to
favorite
main
could
event
be.
just
I want to be the main event for the world title, whether it's Cody, whether it's Roman. I,
we don't know who.
I know Gunther is still champ on that side, but I don't think that favor is as heavy for that as opposed to a Cody or Roman that Paul Heyman can pull off.
Right,
Um, but what you see or what you saw at Survivor Series is like people are more clamoring for Roman and Punk than they were Punk and Seth.
right,
La- this time last year, Seth and Punk was the match to have happen.
right.
Fucking white hot, right?
Hot
Punk gets
as
hurt.
napalm.
Punk
Yes,
gets hurt, and we know how that went down. Now it's like, damn, Punk and Roman could be kind of lit, kind of fire. But how do we get there? Maybe WrestleMania and SummerSlam. Who was the bad guy? Who was the good guy? Is Paul Heyman going to turn or
yeah. So what's gonna
um,
happen?
show his alliance to CM Punk? It's a lot of questions, and then you get Seth out there tonight, and he was tight about Punk being with the Bloodline, and they still never had the one-on-one match that I think we are going to get. Just a matter of when. Um, so how would you play it out, man? If you were the Booker, if you were Triple H, aka Paul Levesque, and Trips and Hunter, um, when do you pull the trigger on Punk and Seth Rollins first, one on one? When do you? We got main event, we got Rumble, and Chamber between WrestleMania. So what do you do for Seth and CM Punk?
I would say it'd be too soon to put him in Saturday Night Main Event. It'd be a
Okay,
little
I
too
agree.
soon. It's too early to do it as much as it is. If they was to put it like right now, it would be rushed. I think with this, you need to build it up. You need
Yeah,
to really see what can you get. Because last year, when CM Punk came back, we saw a little bit of a teaser, and we were waiting. We were like, "Oh, this is going to be building up." They have the
yeah.
animosity, the hate with each other. We was
But
like,
just
"Oh,
remember
yes,
that Rumble is in February now.
it
And
is."
if you say, "Oh, main event is too early, we're gonna hold it for Rumble," you're like, "Damn, that shit is like another month and a half. Like, how am I gonna build to that if you do it at the Royal Rumble?"
Probably they'll probably as we saw as Seth competed tonight against Sammy, we might see some more appearance matches where
Hmm.
allies may start to tick some adversaries off.
Yeah.
Possibly Seth is starting getting agitated. You saw him face off against Sammy tonight. So if he might face off against some of those adversaries, and he might start coming to shows wherever CM Punk may go, or Punk may start interfering himself into what Seth Rollins is doing. I think they might do the same effect as they did with Drew McIntyre. So Seth might get agitated, annoyed with Jey Uso. Next you know, they have a match. And
Hmm.
then Punk may try to venture himself off into what he's trying to do. But then again, as he said, you're in my business, leave me alone. Seth's
Exactly.
like, guess what? Whatever you're doing now is my business. As CM Punk said, it's like, let me tell you something right now. You're about my business, but I'm not losing an ounce of sleep because I'm guess what? I'm living rent free in your head. I'm not paying anything about it. So, but
And like you said, when I came back, you had something I wanted. You ain't
yes,
champ no more. All right, get out of here. Now Roman's not champion, so but that's a different thing
it is.
because you just being involved with Roman can get you a title shot. Because the champ is Cody, champ is Cody and Gunther. Like now, does you go after Cody Rhodes at some point to get away from the Roman storyline? I don't know. Um, again, I think the match with him, I'm more intrigued with Punk and Roman than Punk and Seth right now, only because, and again, they're not champions. But when Seth was a champion, I'm like, oh shit, that was the main event night one for WrestleMania that we did not
Punk
get.
got hurt. Yes,
Um, but then it's like, damn, like what do you? Then you come back to square one. Yo, what's that favor that's gonna make me get over the top? Is it getting a Rumble victory help me, or to get the main event spot at WrestleMania? The favor is I need you to come, or the favor could be I need you to come back with me and
Yeah,
manage
turn
me.
on Roman. That could be a
Turn on
favor.
Roman, get away from him,
Manage me
and come back with me.
because he's a fallen cause. Like guess what? He hasn't had a championship. He's been out the game. Yes, but like right now, let's try to get something new. Paul, get back onto what worked well. We worked well together with the Magic. That might tie in,
Yeah,
and that's really going to possibly see if Punk is going to return as the heel. I
yeah.
think with Seth and Punk sidetrack, I think we need to build it up. Now, how we're going to build
Mm.
it up is not Saturday night. I think Royal Rumble, they're both going to be in. Maybe possibly one of them may cost each other a spot. I see Seth possibly costing CM Punk the spot, and that's really going to build up for what's going to happen in the next pay-per-view after that. And this can go further between, I would say WrestleMania, but it
Hmm.
can go either to WrestleMania. They just have a match. It may
Yeah,
not be a main. It could be one of the main event matches, but I know Punk really wants to get a title match, and we want to see Punk versus Roman at a WrestleMania. But if not WrestleMania, we possibly might see them in a at SummerSlam in the summer. They can face off each other against SummerSlam. The Elimination Chamber, I could see I could see all of them. Maybe Cody might be still champion. Maybe Kevin and Punk, Roman, Seth, Seth, Punk, Roman, and Kevin Owens. They're possibly in that elimination chamber match, and
whoa, all of them in one chamber.
I would say so. Yes, you heard it here. In March, we're gonna have Cody Rhodes, Roman
Is
Reigns,
Cody champion?
CM Punk to be determined after Saturday night. You know what?
Oh, so,
Owens
so my
is
thing is this: if Cody's the champion, why the fuck is he in the chamber?
it all connects. They all connected within this bloodline and in this multiverse. It tugs in and it's
Right,
all going to
but
grapple
if
in.
I'm the champion, I'm getting nowhere near the chamber.
You're
I
not
don't got to be in it.
let let it happen because we saw fighting champions fight in the chamber and we saw how it all intertwines within.
Who was
Let
the
all
last
this,
one? Who was the last one to defend their title in the chamber?
we saw let's see. What was it? Triple H
Exactly.
defended his title twice in the Elimination Chamber.
Who?
Triple H.
Yeah. Okay, that was the very first one.
And then SummerSlam with Goldberg, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton,
Okay. Okay. So Hunter,
Kevin
that
Nash,
was 02 and 03.
0203. I think after that was
Exactly.
give a fighting champion a chance to fight in the Elimination Chamber. That would build.
I get it, but I think the chamber has been recently designed that if the Rumble winner is a guy from Raw, then the chamber has to be SmackDown guys, to get that belt. The winner of that gets the title shot for that side. That's what they would normally do. They won't put the defending champion like a Gunther now or Cody now to be in a chamber. Like, then what's the point of being in the fucking chamber? Y'all supposed to fight me.
I think it might give it a lot more. Uh, it gives it more of an edge that the champion
I hear you.
has an edge on him and he has to try to defend it. Let's give the champion back in these type of matches to hold it like I'm that guy. Will it be Cody? Maybe not. Will it be Kevin? I think it could be. Maybe not as well. But give the champion a chance to be back in Elimination Chamber to defend it. Yeah, we saw that contenders in the Elimination Chamber possible championship, but let them fight in the chamber and hold that title. Let's see a title change like we saw with Shawn Michaels.
Okay. I just know if I'm champion and Triple H gives me that contract, like, bro, yeah, by the way, you're gonna be in the chamber to defend that championship. I'll be like, bro, fam, no, hell no. I'm going nowhere near the chamber if I'm champion. Woman or man, get me away from this shit. Because I
It's
don't gotta be in it.
it's a type of match that might change how it is, and it might create something. I
No,
know.
I agree. That's a once in a blue thing. That's like saying, like, I was a fan when I think they had no choice, but when they said the 2016 Rumble was for the championship,
Yeah,
like, oh, the winner of the Royal Rumble is now world champion. Oh, okay, because that took it back to Flair in '92. But that's like a rarity, like to have a champion involved in like a that kind of match. And I think Brock did it. I think Brock did it, if I'm not mistaken.
may have.
I think Brock was speaking of Brock. I had an idea.
Oh, let's hear it.
Like, I'm thinking, okay, just knowing that CM Punk is a product of like old school. He's really old school guy, right?
Right, right, right.
And we know he don't really fuck with the bloodline.
Of course.
Just one night and that's it. But let's say in a dream scenario that has 0.000.1 chance
That's
of
a lot of
happening.
math. That's a lot of zeros in that
So
math, sir.
I would as heck. I had an idea, right? I'm like, yo, what if Punk says, yo, Paul, come with, like, Paul does not have to heel turn against Roman. Just say, my tribal chief, I did everything I could with you. I love you, but I'm going, like, I'm letting you know what I'm doing. I'm professionally, I'm gonna go back with Punk, right? I don't got a heel turn with you. He goes with Punk, and like, could you imagine a scenario where Bloodline been running roughshod for 4 years, 2.0 the last year or whatever. What if Punk said, yo, be my manager, get Brock Lesnar back, and build out like the modern day dangerous alliance to go up against Bloodline 2.0, Bloodline or OG. Like, there's a few guys that Paul Heyman could be like, you know what? You might be a Paul Heyman guy. Like, if you get Braun Breaker, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk,
Cody Rhodes,
to one or two other guys, and say, all right, Paul Heyman is now leading this group into taking down OG Bloodline
and
2.0, or just bring it back in general, because Heyman just managing Punk is great. But it's like,
very,
man, there's more you can do, because eventually Brock is going to come back. Then
and
it's
we
like, what do you
have,
do with Brock?
and so we're gonna have
Because Dangerous Alliance had, I think, 5 members back in the day,
yeah,
and you want to take it back to old school,
yes,
and Heyman's the mouthpiece. You start with Punk and Brock Lesnar, get a Braun Breaker involved. You find 2 other guys, maybe a female. There's got to be a female, maybe. And
mm.
then you build out your modern day 2024, 2025 Dangerous Alliance.
We build it out like it's 2001 again. We
Yeah, but
build it like
that
2001.
was the alliance. But yeah,
Yeah, I know a
yeah.
new alliance. So I can see that. That's that has a lot of promise. And now with the talent, we'll have dividing sides. What's it going to be? And it all draws back to Roman versus Punk.
Yeah, because, bro, we're about to be in 2025, bro. And this bloodline story is like
It's been
no
going
end
on
in
like
sight.
years.
It's like it's gonna keep going on, and it's like, all right, how do you end this shit? What's the end game? Does the entire Roman Empire fall down? Does Roman it's a wrap for him? Or a 2.0 bloodline? Like, the Rock is hasn't even got stepped foot
Oh
in
man,
this thing
SummerSlam,
yet.
we all were.
It's a lot going on. Like, it's just another year or 2 or 3, but it's like, damn, who takes them down?
Who takes them down? So you think that another someone that would take them down is another big source of like a bigger faction than the Bloodline?
Yeah, like Paul Heyman leading that side with Punk and Brock, Braun Breaker, some other guys, and go with that.
So we have that. So and then Rock joins in with Roman, and then we have a big battle of the war. So we have another sides of the
Mhm.
dueling sides of the dueling factions,
Yeah,
big factions. Bloodline's been holding down for 3 to 4 years.
Yeah,
Let's say Punk, they call this, like you said, the alliance, the new alliance. The new alliance faces off against the bloodline with all the contenders that we have in the WE. And I'm sure that the new alliance will be considered the heels, while the bloodline will be face value. And then we'll see some, of course, we'll see the turns, the backstabbing, and we'll see the build up. Possibly this can go, I would say, about 5, 8 months, like how we did the Alliance versus WWF. That
because
can be
also at the same time, bro, like they would let's listen. If they even do this, they would have to be careful because when you bring back something that happened too long ago, like for your younger core audience, that I'm bringing back the Dangerous Alliance, and kids nowadays may not even know what that is. Like our age, oh shit, yeah, Dangerous Alliance, yeah, ECW. Kid nowadays, 12, 13, 14, have no fucking clue what that is.
right.
So like you have to explain it. Like this is the origin, the essence of the Dangerous Alliance, what it meant, who was involved back in the day, Hall of Famers, and like why would you bring it back? Like it would be more storytelling and more intricate, but you know that's why they always like, even for me, like, damn, do I bring back this when it hasn't been around for so long? Will my young audience understand what it is? That's like saying, yo, oh, we'll bring it back DX. Oh, it's cool, we know 35 and up know it, but a kid 10 years old, like, I don't know who DX is.
And they probably ain't gonna, they want to research it. Like, why bring up
Oh,
DX? Like, we're too old. But I think
oh,
how the video
Triple H,
might,
the guy who runs the whole shit, he was DX. Like,
you're like,
yeah,
huh? He was Triple H. He wrestled.
yeah.
He was called the what? Cerebral what? Assassin?
Yo,
What's
fuck
that?
yeah. Put John Cena in his whole alliance too.
Oh my! John Cena got about 6 or 7 times, and then he going back to Boston, man. He about to make that. He about to make Thugonomics 3.
I mean, look, yo, this
Christmas
listen,
classic.
I know we're a month and hold up, before I get to Rumble.
What's up?
Main event does now have a total of 4 matches. Don't want to forget about that. Well,
Ooh.
the finals for the US title, the women's US title, Cody and KO for the undisputed world title, Liv
Okay.
Morgan, Io Sky for the women's world championship, and Gunther and Finn Balor for the world heavyweight championship as Saturday night's main event in just a couple weeks.
Next week. That's next week.
No, it's not.
December 14th is next week.
Yeah, it's the second now. So it's about 12 days. Next week is 7 days.
It's still next week,
A
Saturday.
week and a half. A week and a half. So now
It's
we got
next
4 matches for main event.
five. Well,
Um,
yeah, 5 4 matches on the championship. So that's like
yeah.
5 things. Okay.
So not a bad card. They added EO and Liv, even though I saw Liv and EO what you would call it previewed or promoted for the MSG holiday tour at the Garden
Yeah.
on which is 2 weeks after main event. So that might be a sign telling you who's gonna retain or win the match. I don't know if they'll pull the trigger for EO at main events. Would you have EO become new world or women's champion at main event?
I s- I would still let Liv hold on to the belt. Liv can still.
You will let Liv live.
Yes, I
Pretty
will let
much.
Liv live.
That's right.
I mean, because it's all going to build up still around within Rhea reclaiming the title. It's just when, and I would say, tomorrow, next Monday, we're going to get Rhea versus Raquel in a match. And I think this all going to tie in possibly with Rhea, Liv. Io may get involved because now she's into it deep. She might be involved with deep, depending on the outcome of Saturday night.
Mhm.
Meaning that, if Raquel tries to interfere, Rhea's going to come out and try to help her out. But then we might get some incidents, some accidents may occur. Liv retains the title.
Yeah.
Prior to that, Rhea was talking to Io after she was thrown into the table by Raquel, stating that, I'm always here for you, Io. I want you to do your best, but make no mistake about it. I don't care if it's Liv or you. I'm going to reclaim my world's women's championship.
Okay.
I don't know who's it going to be, but I'm going to reclaim it just to put it out there. And Io said, no problem.
Mhm.
saying, like giving an announcement, like you do what you got to do.
I would have thought they would do Balor and Priest at main event and not Balor and Gunther. Um, because
Oh,
that tells you Priest is gonna make Finn Balor lose anyway. Like it just and then
yeah.
they go on a one-on-one little tour. But I would have thought Priest and Balor would have been a nice match for a main event. But I
We
guess they
already
have to put
saw
the
them.
world title on there.
We saw them at Bad Blood face off against each other.
I know, but that's the point. Like, why Finn Balor was the reason why Priest lost. Like, we just saw that at Bad Blood. Now you're gonna bring it back so that Priest can cause Finn the match against Gunther. Like, because I don't see Finn winning that match at all.
I say it may if Priest might cost him, but guess what? After tonight, I'd say he may lose it because of within his own tribe and his own wrongdoings. Earlier tonight, Gunther gave accolades to Dominic Mysterio for the only one to pin Damian Priest out of the whole Judgment Day.
Mhm.
And so Gunther decided to face off against Dominic tonight.
Yeah.
Non-title match, just a good wholesome match. We saw from the beginning, Dom showing off, trying to be too big for his bridges, but I think Dom has really starting to develop to whatever the character is. You see backstage, he's real reserved. He only interacts more with Raquel and Liv. He's really not he's not really talking more with his other Judgment Day counterparts.
Yeah.
And earlier in the match, where Dom, initiated a low blow, hit 2 619s on Gunther.
Mhm.
Hit him with a frog splash. 1, 2, close count, 2 count. Shoulder
Yeah.
got up. We heard the crowd chanting Dirty Dom for at least 8 seconds. Everyone knows Dom is the ultimate heel. But now Dom is getting his props and he's getting his acknowledgement. He held his own against Gunther in the ring.
So are
So
you saying we're teasing a Dom
Dom
face
is
turn?
possibly leaving.
The
He,
Judgment
he
Day.
he'll leave the Judgment Day, probably stay as a heel along Liv Morgan's side. They'll just be solo dolo to themselves. They'll end up disbanding or leaving the Judgment Day because and then he might end up trying to help, or he might just cost Finn the title because he's probably tired of how Finn is talking down to him, telling him, hey,
Yeah.
if it's not for your girlfriend, you wouldn't be who you are. When really Dom is now not leaning back, not being reserved, not being like a child. He's now taking initiative, like, I'm a man now, like, stop treating me like a kid. So we might see friction with that. Dom might just had enough with Finn, and he'll still be a heel, but I think he's going to go on his own, and he might just leave the Judgment Day. He may cost Finn the title, and next thing you know, we got Dom versus the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day
And
is
that's my point. Going back to Survivor Series, if Priest would have lost clean, and then Finn gets a fucking title shot at main event against Gunther, and then Dominic costs Finn, he would have got a big ass pop. But now, if you get Dom to cost Finn, is that him doing it by himself, or Damien got in his head to go and cost Finn the title match, and I get Finn again? Because no matter what, you're going back to Damien and Finn. I like Dom and Liv eventually being on their own, being a good tandem. I think the Judgment Day is going to expire soon. I think it should come to an end.
Mhm.
I think it's ran its course, because especially if Dom's going to be a good guy and also live and getting cheers, then that's it. I don't care about Finn and McDonough, and they're still tag champs and whatnot. But
not until
once
next week.
once Dom leaves, I think that's it.
Yeah, believe it or not, you don't talk about the Judgment Day without talking about Dom Mysterio. I know Finn, but Priest is gone, Rhea's gone. Dom is the only relevancy that we have. I know Finn we talk about, but as much as it is, Dom has held his own within the Judgment Day as
Mhm.
much as they boo him. So you pair the Judgment Day with Dom, and I think Dom will there'll be a turn where he'll cost Finn the title, but he'll still keep his like bad boy vibe. But off of tonight, what I'm hearing, a shift is coming soon, and they're acknowledging Dom. They're acknowledging Dom for holding his own against Gunther, and he'll have his. I think we'll see a change within the next few months, possibly Royal Rumble, leading up to maybe Mania.
Mhm.
I say Royal Rumble to Mania, and then that will all whatever happens after that will go how we might ride this out to SummerSlam.
I think seeing a good guy Dom in 2025 could be very interesting television.
Hmm.
Me, big fan of Liv. Does she go that route of being the baby face along with him? That could be interesting, but that can't happen until her and Rhea are done with.
Yeah,
I
the
think
titles change. What happens? Does Liv, go with Dom, or does she turn on Dom and go to Finn? Does she turn on Dom and go to Finn? And next thing you know, Dom is by himself. The next thing you
Mhm.
know, guess we probably may take him back. Damien and Rhea, they might take him back, and now we got a treacherous trio.
Against Finn, McDonough, and what Liv.
That could happen. That could be that could be a SummerSlam type of match, a 6-man tag match.
So we're just breaking up all our tag teams, all our groups, and you know what? Y'all figure this shit out.
We need to see what's going on because
Bloodline, New Day, Judgment Day, yo, yeah, all y'all bugging out. Yeah, you're all crazy. You got issues. You're all fucked up. Go ahead and figure this shit out.
these trees of factions are starting to disassemble into
Yeah,
trying to grow their own branches. Eventually, the roots are going to still be there, but we're trying to see if these branches, these leaves can grow from different stems of branches. What's going to happen between New Day, the Bloodline, Judgment Day? What's going to happen, and how are these all going to turn? Because also, too, new talents possibly going to come in, new factions are going to be formed. So we're going to see how are they going to intertwine and going as we go further into 2025. So the Judgment Day by 2025, mid 2025, this band, the Bloodline is going to probably go all the way to Mania.
yeah.
Even
Mania
so, after
45.
Mania, yeah, it might go until like well, I'm 40. Oh my god, I
Yeah,
don't know. It's going to keep going. The New Day, I'm interested to see is are we going to get Xavier Woods turn coming into it? Are we going to see Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston? What is this new malicious day? And also, too, we might see Drew McIntyre and Cody Rose, and not Cody Rose, Kevin Owens might align them forces. The get back. We're tired
yeah,
of the payback. We're tired of foes joining forces and acting like nothing happened after all the years of distraught and torture
yeah.
from a previous enemy. There's no enemy of my enemy is my best friend. My
That's right.
enemy is still my enemy.
Hmm.
There's no joining sides, no shaking hands. It's
Yeah.
one fight. It's gonna be Kendrick and Drake forever. Kendrick and Drake forever.
It's a lot of hating going on.
A
Everybody
lot of
hates.
hate, a lot of euphoria is going to go on,
Yeah.
and I think
Um,
it's really going to build up.
the last point I'll make before I get you out of here. Which is very key and important. Going back to Seth and Sammy and the whole Punk stuff. Um, Sammy did say, Roman's like this because of you, my guy.
Oh
If it
man,
wasn't if it wasn't for you, he wouldn't be like this. But he got it from you. You turned on him 10 years ago with a chair, and now that
oh,
that thing was brought to daylight, even though we all knew it. That
we
but
all
now it's
saw
brought
it.
on TV. You're the guy behind all of this. And then Seth was saying, well, let's not act like you ain't do that shit too. Yeah, I already apologized. Da, 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 but you did the same thing at fucking the Rumble in 2022.
Yeah,
So I think that was very important to get that out to let the world know, hey, Roman's a certain way because of his past. He ain't letting shit go. He don't forgive. He don't forget. But this all culminated. This all began. The origin is Seth Rollins, and you know he. and Sam was trying to say, let's not act like you all innocent and hands are clean. You're not. So again, everything spirals and comes back to Roman, the bloodline. I think that was very important for Sam to say in front of the world. Roman's like this because of you.
Right, right.
And
Mm.
now it's like, hey, now we all have to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? The whole last 4 years, me, Seth, this Jay, Jimmy, Paul, Brock, Dick, Solo. It's like every KO, Cody, Randy, everybody got a piece of Roman. John Cena and Logan Paul. We go down the line. AJ Styles down the line, bro. LA Knight down the line. Everybody got a piece of Roman Reigns. Now it's like, damn. Now I have to help him. Why the fuck would I help him?
It's,
And y'all not realize that, like, he ain't apologized, and Seth made a valid point. I ain't see Roman apologize to nobody.
he
I
apologized
ain't
to
see him
Jay.
say
He
thank you.
apologized to you. Like, what did he do? All he did was stand there with his look. Y'all
Yeah,
just baited yourself into helping him. He
yeah.
looked like a lost puppy, but really, you sided yourself with a pit bull that will still bite you in the neck.
And again, we don't know what Roman is gonna do for Mania and whatever, but again, this Roman Rock, maybe Roman Cody 3. You got Roman Punk. There's a lot of options. Would you be happy at some point in time to get this Roman Seth Rollins match? Because the last time we had it was the Rumble of 22, but Seth won it, but like DQ or some shit. But we never really had that final, showdown with them. I don't know why they're holding it off, but do you think, would you be wanting that now? Or nah, I got Punk, I got Cody, I got The Rock. I want to see that first before we get Seth and
It's just
Roman.
interesting to see how it may play out because eventually we are going to get Roman versus Seth, but I think you should hold off on that because I feel like they want to go with what's making hot right now. And what's making hot right now is the thing that's cooking is Roman and Punk. How you gonna do that in the pressure cooker? Rock and Roman is still there in the pressure cooker. It's just when you gonna take the lid off, when you gonna
Mhm.
release that lid. I think Punk and Roman is a lead up to what's gonna happen in WrestleMania. Even if not, what's gonna happen? You could still lead that up to SummerSlam.
Yeah.
How's that all going to go? I think if you was to do The Rock and Roman, you would do that. You would either do it at WrestleMania or SummerSlam. No other.
Okay, so let's say there's no Rock and Roman this year. Just for example, there's no Roman Rock at 41. What do you have Roman Reigns do?
Roman Reigns is either facing. I say Roman's either going to face the CM Punk or a Seth Rollins.
Hmm.
Like if we have Cody and Roman part three,
I mean, hey, they both got one. It's 1-1.
it's 1-1. But who's really going to have the advantage? Who we going to say is Cody going to be the Melorious, the heel? Now we're going to make him have a heel edge. I mean, it could possibly happen,
Because if you
especially.
do that, that means Roman has to win the Rumble or the Chamber.
Ugh, if he wins the Chamber, then he's possibly going to wait. Chambers before is after WrestleMania before.
Before Mania.
Oof.
In March.
Ah, I forgot they moved WrestleMania up.
That's right.
Oof.
So if
Roman
Roman
compete.
wins the Rumble, listen, I think if you're going Fando now, the odds of winning the Rumble are gonna be like Punk is a very high number, John Cena is a high number, um, Roman if he's in is gonna be a high number. So it's a it's a lot they can pick from. It's like having a lot of toys to play with, and it's like, damn, I want to play with that
Right.
one Saturday, Friday. All right, I got so many toys here, but it's like, which one do you do? Do you have John Cena in his final Rumble win the Rumble match? I get it. I can see it, but how do you get to other avenues for Mania unless you just totally switch everything up that we don't see. Punk and Seth could be WrestleMania for all we know
Punk and,
because that was supposed to happen last year.
Punk and Seth. It was, but like we said before, how you gonna restart that again? Because last year that was it was Napalm itself was building. So what's gonna happen between now all the way to I would say Elimination Chamber? How you gonna restart that fire? They're gonna possibly be in the Elimination Chamber match. One's probably gonna cost each other. Someone's gonna cost someone, and that's gonna piss them off. And next thing you know, we gotta duke it out. We're gonna do it on the grandest stage.
That's right.
So we're probably gonna have 2 nights WrestleMania, 3 or 4 or 5 main events at WrestleMania with endless heat.
Yeah.
And we're gonna possibly see 2 title changes. Well, actually, plenty of title changes, but 2 of the world championships probably gonna change. But if not, if Cody doesn't, if he still has the belt at Mania, he keeps the belt, but he turns heel. He's gonna do a heel turn at Mania.
I mean, listen, you can also do Cody and Randy Orton. I mean, that there's so many matches you can do at a Mania. Um,
But
eh,
Orton might come. I don't know. Orton might come and help try to save Cody at Saturday night. But then next thing you know, we got now Rumble.
yep.
They might interject himself Randy versus Cody. I don't know if Randy might go to WrestleMania. Randy is not
You could do Cody and The Rock.
Cody,
There's so many options, bro. It's so
Cody and
so
Rock,
many
especially
options.
after the night after WrestleMania, where Rock whispered whatever he did at
Yeah,
Cody's ear. So
because last point because you can't have Rock come back at fucking Bad Blood and then be like, oh, he's not available, y'all. WrestleMania 42. Like, yeah, bro, at some point in time, you gotta do this match. Like,
he's making
we're
Moana
waiting
3
3 years.
after
We're waiting 3 years for Rock and Roman.
that. We'll finish the
Real,
story.
real quick, real quick. Rewind last year
Yes.
when Rock took Cody's spot.
Hmm.
Were you like, yeah, I'm getting Rock and Roman, or like, nah, man, I wanted Cody and Roman, but now you got to wait a whole no fucking year for Rock and Roman.
I was just shocked to see how they was. I didn't know how to like displace it because for one, I was just waiting and finish and just like, as soon as Cody won the Rumble, I was like, all right, going after Roman, finish the story, do it. But then Cody came out and said, I'm gonna finish the story, but it's not at Mania. I'm like, huh?
Said, now I'm good.
He's like, I'm gonna finish the story, but
I
not at
got you at
Mania. I'm
Crown
like,
Jewel,
huh?
fam.
Yeah, if you look at Roman, he even had to look. He's like, "What are you talking about? Maybe
Yeah.
at a SummerSlam or so, but it's not going to be at Mania.
Mhm.
Someone that you know very well." And as soon as we heard Ifius, I was like, "It's The Rock," but I'm like, "Wait, huh?" So Cody gave up his spot to The Rock, but I'm like, man, I was kind of expecting him to like, yo, finish the story because after Mania last 2 years ago, we was like, oh man, Cody lost thanks to Solo.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, so and then he came out and says, I need to finish the story. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, so he's probably gonna go at it again, probably a back to back. It would have been, I was just like, man, I really know how to go. I was like, Cody's been talking about this, finishing the story all this way, and then here comes The Rock going to it. They're leading up. I'm like, is he going to help you? Is he going to assist you? How is this going on? Like, interesting how The Rock just came in, shot his way in it. Love The
Yeah.
Rock. Part of my time culture. Love it. It was just very confusing, perplexed about how they threw it in. What was your take on it?
Um, I I wanted Rock and Roman
You wanted,
last
so
year.
you said scrap Cody. You wanted Rock and Roman.
Yeah, like before the Rumble, I wanted Rock and Roman. Then when you have Cody win the Rumble, it's like, okay, so That's out the window. I can't get Rock in there. Cody just won the Rumble last night. How the fuck do I get there? Unless you made it a triple threat match. Um,
That, but
but seeing like we want Cody and people turn on the Rock, and again, I think the final boss was amazing. Like
yes,
it just showed like when the people speak and they want things a certain way, it's how you pivot. And I think The Rock is one of the best guys to pivot in that kind of situation. And I think what ended up happening, because mind you, with the CM Punk injury going down, that left Seth by himself, which you had no choice but to put him in the main event of night one.
right.
So because if Seth and Punk, if Punk wasn't hurt, that would have
Yeah,
been the main
fought at
event of night
WrestleMania.
one. And then you just do Cole. The Rock would not have fought at WrestleMania if Punk doesn't go down.
Right.
So then it's like, damn, how do I get unless you did triple threat? That was the only way it would have happened. But again, you fast forward now. I think the Cody thing could be the Cody reign is okay. Um, some feel it's underwhelming compared to Roman. I know Roman fought very like he picked his spots, but every time he fought, it was like a big ordeal. I'm not saying he had the greatest matches ever. I'm just saying compared to his reign to Cody's, it's a lot different. And I think once Cody does the heel turn, which I can't wait for because I know he could be a great fucking heel. Then he is a good guy. 'Cause I think that him and Orton's and those guys are always better as a bad guy,
They are.
and it's just a lot more freedom or what you could say in a promo in a microphone, acting a certain way. So at that time, man, I wanted Rock and Roman. I'm like, you know what? I didn't get it in LA, which could have been because The Rock is a Hollywood star, which makes sense. All right, so then I don't get it in Philly. Okay, all right, now Vegas. I'm thinking Vegas, like old school boxing and just a promotion, the Don King, Tyson, like, oh, it's gonna be a Rock and Roman is the main event. That's what it's should be. But
Title
uh,
or no title?
I think now Roman and Rock does not need the title.
Okay.
No. Could you put Rock, Roman, and Cody? Sure. Could you do Cody and Roman 3? Sure. Rock and Cody? Sure, for the title.
But I think Rock and Roman, as you said, will draw more of a big heavyweight boxing fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Excuse me.
I mean, listen, if it's not for the title, that could be night one main event. And Cody gets night two for the title. If they want the title to be the last match of WrestleMania, they put Cody on night two, they put Rock and Roman night one.
Mm.
I mean, it's still a main event. Are people going to be mad? Oh man, it wasn't night two. Like, listen, by the time you get to night two, some people are already tired. Want to go home.
in Vegas,
Night
no.
one, Saturday night. It feels Rock Roman night one main event. Oh, you know what? Damn, come back for night two. Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Cody against Cody. Oh shit, you got this and that. All right, you got CM Punk against Cody. If you got CM Punk and Cody night two and Rock and Roman night one, that's a hellified WrestleMania 41 main event.
Let me tell you right now, you in Vegas, after you done with it, you never want to go home because Vegas, there's something for everything.
Nah,
Even though some people say they can only be in Vegas for like 3 to 4 days.
yeah.
I would say though, if they make they put Rock and Roman on night two, they put the championship match in like the third or second mid card, and they headline Rock and Roman. Even if
Bro,
it's not a title.
knowing them, they want the title to be the last match of the whole entire show. I think Rock and Roman is fucking great enough to hold down night one. It's Saturday night, it's Vegas, and I get it's The Rock. The Rock might say, I want to beat it. I want night two. He would just night one last year, right or wrong.
He was.
So my thing is, could I see them main eventing night one? Sure, that's a powerhouse main event,
Right,
and then
right.
let Cody rock off with Orton or John Cena or CM Punk. That's a bona fide powerhouse night 2 main event as well. I just don't know where you put the like the Rheas and the Bianca. Like maybe some of those could be a main event as well. But if it ain't on those levels of the story that we've been watching for so long, then those are gonna go in the fucking main event spot. And that's WrestleMania 41.
Still undecided to be determined because
They got time, man.
let's see
They got
what
a lot of
the
time.
wrestling multiverse web is going to unravel, and it's still unraveling.
Yeah, and
To this
listen, we
damn
pray
day.
that everybody remains healthy. We want everybody to be on the card.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna get
Bronson.
some. We're gonna get some people back. Getting Becky back soon. Oscar, Charlotte.
Woo!
It's gonna be WrestleMania season coming up. Monster Rumble. So looking forward to it. So I mean, it's gonna be from 20 the beginning from the Raw Netflix.
Oh
And
man,
on,
Netflix too. Oh
it's
man, we
gonna
don't know
be
what we're gonna see on Netflix.
that's crazy. That
From
that that first
Netflix,
Netflix gonna be crazy.
we don't know what we're gonna see on Netflix, man. We ain't gonna see no USA, no
Nah,
UPN 9, no sci-fi. Real ones know. You
no
see,
TNN.
hey, you know what I'm
No
talking about?
sci-fi. No Fox. No FS1.
No FS1, nothing. So now we're on Netflix, a platform.
Yeah,
Are they gonna change their rating back to TV 14? Or they go to
maybe.
TV 18? Like, what we gonna see?
Maybe. I don't know if those are watching real quick. I got the old school New Year's Revolution shirt on. Hold up. See this? Look at that.
Oh, New Year's resolution.
Revolution, not resolution. Come on, man.
I mean,
Chamber match right here. Chamber.
it is a chamber match. We
Oh
saw a
yeah.
lot of
John
chamber
Cena,
matches.
Shawn Michaels, Kane,
Is that
Kurt
Carlito?
Angle, Carlito, and Chris Masters. Look at that match.
Chris Masters, the Master Lock.
That's right. And the night of the first ever Money in the Bank cash in. Edge.
On this day,
That's right.
I
Classic.
see clearly
Oh boy, you can't sing. You cannot
everything is
sing.
I messed it up.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit, bro.
Uh,
Um,
they know what I
my
mean.
boy Kenny Holt, find him on Twitter, X at Kawabunga_K_E_N. Find myself, Randy J. Cruz, RENDY, letter J, CRUZ, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter/X. The podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff on youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Greatly appreciate your love and support for watching us and supporting us every Monday. We can do this just about every Monday, maybe every Friday after SmackDown. Do a couple shows after some PLEs if we're not busy or working. So we're gonna change the schedule up a little bit. But again, support us watching us live on YouTube and X. Again, from my boy Kenny Holt, Randy Cruz, 2 out of 3 Falls podcast live Monday night, December 2nd, 2024. We out.
Peace.
Yes, sir.